Hi, everyone. I am here with Samantha. She is here to share her medical medium healing journey. She has been a client of Reclaimers of Health as well as her son, and she has been part of our Empowered Moms group. And welcome, Samantha.
Thank you so much, Kimberly.
So when did your medical medium journey begin? What made you pick up that first book?
So my medical medium journey began about 3 years ago, and I was dealing with chronic cystic acne all over my face. I had some other conditions as well, but that was the one that I just couldn't seem to find a solution for. I'd seen so many doctors, tried different medicines, tried different diets and fads, and I spent a lot of my time researching, like trying to figure out how to get rid of this. And that's actually when I discovered medical medium. It was someone who was saying they were drinking celery juice to get rid of their acne on Instagram, and I was like, okay, let me look into this, and looked up his website, ordered his book right away, and immediately resonated with me because not only was it going to help me with my cystic acne, but also my acid reflux and my other digestive issues.
Amazing. So leading into that, what symptoms have you healed, and what symptoms have you seen your son heal?
Okay, so I was born with acid reflux. At 7 weeks, I was diagnosed, and the doctors had told my parents that this is one of the worst cases they'd ever seen, and that I would have it for the rest of my life and be on medications for the rest of my life. So that was my diagnosis. I suffered with it as a child, and I even remember like just laying on the ground, holding kind of like my rib cage or my throat because it was just burning all the time, no matter what medicines I took. And it was just something that I had to live with, and it was something that came and went over time, but it was always still there. And so that was the first thing that I healed, which was miraculous.
Amazing.
Yes, I also healed my cystic acne, which was a revelation.
Your face is beautiful. It looks
Thank
gorgeous.
you.
I know I always talk to you on the phone or through the computer. I've never actually seen your face, so gorgeous.
Yeah, it's a huge transformation for sure. I also healed IBS, and then I healed gastritis. I was actually recently diagnosed with that right before I found medical medium. I just had an endoscopy done for my acid reflux, and they're like, "Oh, she has gastritis too." So
of course,
that is, yeah, of course I do. And then I healed depression, and then the last thing I healed was amenorrhea. And this at the time, I really wasn't trying to heal. It wasn't really bothering me, I guess you could say. And after I found medical medium and started the healing foods and the diet, started out the no foods, amenorrhea went away, my cycle was back, and I was always told that I would have difficulty conceiving because my cycles were regular. Well, when my husband and I were ready to conceive, I had no difficulties, and it was such a miraculous thing. The timing of that was just so wonderful. So
amazing. Yeah. That is incredible. And what about your son? So what have you
so my son was also born with acid reflux. And so I immediately called you, and I was like, oh, what do I do? You know, he's so little. And I was also dealing with a lot of adrenal fatigue after having a baby. And I was still very much in the beginning stages of my healing journey when, I had my son. So he no longer has the reflux. He was crying all the time. He was super colicky, and like, he's so much better. He's just like a normal kid and like has no issues, and it's just so wonderful. He also had a little bit of eczema, and that went away as well. We started the celery juice, and he's just started right off the bat with the healing food. So that's been really amazing.
And you've totally set him up for a lifetime of good health now. I mean, how beautiful is that he doesn't have to deal with that all of it.
Exactly.
You nipped it in the bud, and that should be it. And he'll continue a life full of amazing foods and healing supplements and things. So amazing, amazing. So what was the first thing? I always like to share this question because a lot of people watch these videos when they're just starting. So they just pick up, they're still kind of skeptical. They don't really know. They're like, they think they're onto something, but they're not really sure. So I always like to ask, what is the first thing that you saw healing, or what was the first sign that you were like, yes, I'm on the right path. This isn't just another fad. Like, this is going to change my life. So what was that first thing for you?
So the first thing for me was I wasn't in as much pain with my acid reflux, because at the time it was probably at its worst. I was on the highest medications you could take for it, antacids, and it was kind of like this gradual less pain that I felt. And I remember being like, wow, I didn't feel that today. It became like every other day, once a week. And that was even in the first month and a half of like completely changing my diet and following the protocols. So it was a very quick transformation for me. It did take a while to completely go away, but it was definitely, it was so much better so quickly. And then that gave me the hope that the rest of my symptoms and conditions were going to heal as well. Those took a lot longer, but that was just that spark that I needed.
Right. And that's what I love to share with people, that like there's usually one or two things that you can see change pretty quickly. And then you kind of know, like, it may take longer to heal something like acne, because acne is clearly, that involves so many systems of your body, and you've got to heal a whole ton before your skin starts to look better. The skin is really the last thing to start healing for a lot of people. So I would love to share that, first little piece of what you see, just so people can understand that, like, okay, if I see something, I'm probably going to see something else heal and something else. So how did all of this healing impact you spiritually, emotionally? Did anything change for you in terms of your emotional, spiritual health?
Yeah. So whenever I was dealing with these conditions, probably at their high, was just right around when I found medical medium, and I was very depressed and just really didn't know where else to turn. I was in a lot of pain. I missed out on so many family and friends events because either I was too sick or I was ashamed of what I looked like, because my skin was awful. And so I really had to turn to my spirituality at that time. And when I found medical medium, he talked so much about just even the foods you eat have this emotional, spiritual connection, and the meditations that, you can watch hummingbirds and grounding. Like, it was just so easy to do those things and have that like sense of hope while you're doing them, that you are going to overcome this. One thing that I did as well was I worked on positive affirmations and, self-love, self-compassion. And what I did is I wrote on Post-it notes all these positive affirmations, stuck them all over my mirror. And that was just a reminder to me that instead of looking in the mirror and seeing my acne and being reminded of that, I was then like, I am in this healing journey. I will heal. So that was really powerful.
I love that. I have chills. I love that. That is beautiful. That's like Louise Hay.
Yes, exactly. That's who I was reading the book. I was reading her book and doing her meditation.
On our journey, right? Yeah.
Yes, exactly. And then the last thing that really helped me was the life-changing angels and unknown angels, just praying to them. I remember the first time that I prayed to them, and it was like this sense of joy just like overtook me, and like a feeling that I was going to get through this and I wasn't alone. It almost brings me to tears, like thinking about it. But like, it was just so important in my healing journey.
I love it. I love it. And yeah, it gives you that tangible thing that you can hang on to right now. Like, my physical symptoms might not be gone yet. I know that they will be, but I have this emotional comfort while I'm going through this and making all these changes that can feel stressful at first.
Yes, exactly.
Amazing. So from your story, speaking to the people that are just getting started, or they're halfway there and they're not really, there yet, they're kind of flip-flopping back and forth, what do you want them to know from your journey?
Know that you can heal. I was diagnosed, at 7 weeks old, saying that I would never heal from acid reflux. I'd always be on medication. So know that it is totally possible. Following the medical medium protocol, eating the right food, it is absolutely possible. And the second thing is that know that you're not alone. I know I felt so alone in my healing journey at times. I mean, I was an adult with this cystic acne. I was like, well, I don't see any other adults like this. Like, it was just. And then I was, had acid reflux as a child, and the other kids weren't hurting after they were eating. It was just this kind of, I was alone in this. And, reaching out, using the internet, using Instagram is a great resource. You can find other people who are documenting their healing journey. You can follow me. I'm Cellar6Sam, and I'm happy to reach out with you guys. But just know that there are other people out there, and we can heal together.
I love it. Thank you so much for your time. Thank you sharing your journey and your son's journey and all of that inspiration. I absolutely love it. I thank you from the bottom of my heart for sharing. And I always say it's so important to share these stories, because when you were starting, when I was starting, all we wanted to know is that somebody healed what we were dealing with. So Thank you very much, Sam. I appreciate you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.